That's not a house. It's a fortress.
Informative.
Complete with guard.
Not perhaps informative enough.
No? Oh, surely it tells us a good deal about the man.
Such as?
Well, he's obviously wealthy.
I knew that already.
We knew that a great deal of money comes into his hands. Now we know that he husbands it carefully. Look at the grounds of this place. Immaculately kept. That means he has a sizable staff. It also means that he cares about such things. Show, appearance. He's not just a miser gloating over his hoard.
Excellent.
Do the servants know the source of their master's income, do you suppose?
He'd never allow it. It could give them a potential hold over him.
What, blackmail the blackmailer?
No, it has been done. I could quote you 7 examples from this country alone. Now continue with your character analysis.
This car...
Yes?
Well, it's the highest quality, but look at the design, the typeface, the layout, all of it. It's ostentatious in the extreme, flamboyant almost.
You can't condemn someone for a lack of taste.
No, that's not my point. It's not just bad taste. There's too much effort in it. Trying too hard. The gardens here are the same. The ornamental gates, everything. He's a man who values appearances, because he doesn't have anything else, anything more fundamental.
Not a man of breeding.
But someone who thinks he's a gentleman and cares a great deal that others should think so too.
Watson, you scintillate this morning.
Must be the cold.
I'll bring you out on these excursions more often, any more.
Well, if a man's that successful in his profession, however debased it may be, he's obviously no fool. If anything, I suspect it's harder to rise outside the law. So he probably has a considerable brain.
Absolutely accurate.
Holmes, if you already know all this, why am I standing here, freezing to death, slowly working it all out?
Because, as always, your different perspective on matters is illuminating.
I'm pleased to hear it.
And it does me no harm to be reminded of the basic facts. Well, if anything, you underestimated his intelligence. He's a genius in his way. He'd have made his mark in a more savoury trade.
Seems to have made quite a mark in this one.
Oh, yes. And no one knows where his grip will fall next. He'll hold a card back for years to play it when the stakes are best worth winning. He tortures and wounds and kills as surely as if he used the gun or the knife. As I said, the worst man in London. Come along, Doctor.
You've seen enough?
For the present. Besides, a snake pit isn't the healthiest of places to linger.
I knew you would see the sense of it, Your Grace.
Mr. Milverton, I have not come to agree to your terms.
Indeed. I fail to see any other reason why you should have come here. This is hardly the sort of hour for a social visit.
I have come to ask you for mercy.
For mercy? Why should I show you mercy?
Why should you ruin innocent lives?
Innocent, Your Grace.
I'm not referring to myself. My husband and our son. You must know what this exposure would mean.
But the remedy is in Your Grace's own hands.
I don't have £10,000.
Then get it.
It's impossible. Mr. Milverton.
Oh, Your Grace, kindly do not embarrass us both by kneeling. It is most unbecoming.
I beg you. Please.
If you've exhausted your arguments, then I must ask you to excuse me. I'm a busy man. However,
Yes.
I've no wish to be unreasonable. You have a week.
He's here. A very expensive carriage, superb horses and a liveried footman. And there's the man himself.
Very good. Describe him.
Have you never seen him?
Never.
Well, he's small and stout. I suppose about 50, balding.
Details, Watson, details.
Yeah, but Holmes, I saw him for about 5 seconds. Spectacles. He wears spectacles. He's smoking a cigar, large, obviously expensive. And he's wearing a sort of shaggy astrakhan overcoat. Not exactly the height of taste.
Yes.
You know, it's ridiculous, but
What?
It looks for all the world like Mr. Pickwick.
Watson, make no mistake. This man is the king of all blackmailers. He has the cunning of the evil one. Mr. Milverton.
Mr. Holmes?
Won't you come in?
This gentleman. Is it discreet? Is it right?
Dr. Watson is my friend and partner.
Very good. It's only in your client's interest that I protested. The matter is so very delicate.
Dr. Watson has already heard of it.
Then we can proceed to business. Has the Lady Eva empowered you to accept my terms?
What are your terms?
Well, they haven't altered. £7,000 by the 14th.
And the alternative?
Oh, my dear sir, it is painful to discuss it.
We are, of course, familiar with the contents of these letters. I shall advise my client to tell her future husband the whole story and trust to his generosity.
You evidently do not know the Earl.
What harm is there in the letters?
Oh, your familiarity with them doesn't seem particularly deep. No matter. They're sprightly. Very sprightly. The lady was a charming correspondent, and her friend evidently very close to her. I can assure you that the Earl of Dovercourt would fail to appreciate them.
We disagree.
Oh, well, then, we'll let it rest at that. It's purely a matter of business. Good day to you.
Wait.
Mr. Holmes?
You go too fast. We would certainly make every effort to avoid a scandal in so delicate a matter.
Ah, I was sure that you would see it in that light.
At the same time, Lady Eva is not a wealthy woman.
Mr. Holmes.
The sum you mention is utterly beyond her power. £2,000 would be a drain on her resources.
2,000?
That is the highest price that you will get.
Oh, but the occasion of a lady's marriage is surely a suitable time for friends and relatives to make some little effort on her behalf. They may be hesitating as to a suitable wedding present. Well, that little bundle of letters would give more joy than all the candelabra and butter dishes in London.
Impossible.
How unfortunate. I can't help thinking that ladies are ill-advised not to make an effort. Look at this. This belongs to... Well, perhaps it's hardly fair to tell you the name until this time next week. By then it will be in the hands of the lady's husband. And all because she will not find a beggarly sum which she could get in an hour by turning her diamonds into paste. It is such a pity. And you argue about terms when your client's future and honour are at stake. You surprise me, Mr. Holmes. You really do. I thought you were a man of some intelligence.
Surely it's better for you to take the sum we offer than to ruin this lady's reputation. That can't profit you in any way.
Ah, but it would. I have 8 or 10 similar cases maturing. If they knew that I had made a severe example of the Lady Eva, I should find them all much more open to reason. You see my point?
Now, sir, let us see those letters.
Mr. Holmes!
You can't leave this room without getting past me. I don't believe you have that capability.
Oh, my dear sir, your reputation for insight seems to have been grossly exaggerated. A Webley's number 2. Small but effective, particularly at short range. This gives me the capability, wouldn't you agree? And you, Doctor, would be advised to try no heroics. Put down the chair. That's better. Now be good enough to join your partner by the door. Excellent. Gentlemen, I was expecting you to try something original. This has been done so often. I assure you I'm perfectly prepared to use this, and the law would support me. Detaining someone against his will is a most serious offence. And now, I do have 1 or 2 little interviews this evening, and it is a tedious drive to Hampstead. If you'll excuse me. Thank you.